One of the most common complaints about being on camera is that people don't like the way they look in videos. Can you relate to this complaint? So why don't we like the way we look on camera? One theory is the mirror image effect. What does that mean? Well, let's explore the mirror image effect, and you can decide if it relates to you personally. We tend to have a preference for our mirror image, the face we see when we look in the mirror. But this image is not our true image, meaning what we see when we look in the mirror is not the face that people see when they look at us. We tend to like the image in the mirror more due to what is referred to as the mirror exposure effect. And that's mirror as in M-E-R-E, not mirror as in a mirror. Merely being exposed to an object or a person has the effect that we become more comfortable with that object or person. It's like how sometimes the more we get to know a person that maybe at first we found unattractive, but if they are nice, the more we get to know them, the better looking they become. It turns out that the more frequently we see an object or a person, the easier it is for our brains to process what or who they are. We may still not really like that object or person, but our brain doesn't have to expend energy trying to decipher or categorize who or what it is we're looking at. So we tend to see our own image the most often in a mirror. And even when we take a selfie, the image we're looking at in the camera as we take the picture is the same as what we see when we look in a mirror. But did you ever notice that once the picture is taken, it's flipped in the camera roll to reflect what others see? You can even change the setting of your camera to reflect your mirror image. Let me demonstrate how even when we take selfies, we end up taking a picture of our true image, not our mirror image, which may explain why we often don't like how we look in pictures either. Here I am looking at my mirror image on the screen of my phone. This is the image I see when I look in the mirror, so in theory, I should be comfortable with this image. But notice what happens when I take a selfie, take a picture of this image. Look at the bottom left of the screen where you have the image preview, and I want you to notice that once I take the picture, the image will flip to represent our true image. Okay, and I'm going to turn my head a little bit to make it a little more of an obvious change. Okay, ready? Here we go. Did you notice how the image flipped? So it's a little hard to see that preview. So what I'm going to do is show the image side by side. So now you can see the image that I just took. Now that image represents what other people see when I talk to them. That represents really my true image. The image I see when I take the selfie or shoot a selfie video is the image I see in the mirror. Now take a moment to experiment with your mirror image versus your true image. Change the settings on your phone to reflect the mirror image and take a few pictures or videos and see which one you like better. Which one are you more comfortable with or familiar with? To change the settings, go to the settings option on your phone, go to camera, and scroll down to see mirror front image. Now go back to the camera icon, take your photo, click on the photo icon in the bottom, and you'll notice that nothing has changed. It didn't flip in this case. So let's experiment with that again. Let's go back to the settings, go to camera, turn off mirror front camera, go back to the camera, take your photo, and you'll notice now it's back to representing your true image. So one last time, go to settings, go to camera, and then at the bottom, mirror front camera. So if it's turned off, that's more typical. That's what you generally would want to have. But if you are so inclined to mirror your front camera, you just turn on mirror front camera, go back to your camera, take a picture, and you'll notice it's not flipped. So that's how you change the settings to reflect mirror image versus true image. Now take a moment and experiment with your mirror image and true image. Change the settings in your phone to capture your mirror image. Do you notice a difference? Which one do you like better? The theory of preferring our mirror image has been put to the test with the selfie phenomenon. But again, the mirror image effect comes into play. The more often we take and view selfies, the more familiar we become with our true image, and in theory, the more comfortable we'll become with our true image.